Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Foundation. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back. Things are going pretty well. Currently sitting on a lot of everything, basically. We just have a lot of resources. It's kind of that simple. We have a lot of things. We also have a keep. It's finally done, which means we can finally get soldiers, which means we can finally send people out on missions, which I'm very excited about. I don't know about you, but I'm very excited about that. We do need to get the people for that, though, which is going to take a little bit. So, well, we're going to be waiting before we go out on any missions. But what I would like to do today, to begin, is I would like to go to here. I would like to get a Lord's Manor, and I would like to start building it. And I'm going to build it pretty much into the keep, because I think that might be a good idea. So I'm thinking something like, I mean, that's pretty much aligned. I'm going to sort of sink this bit into the keep kind of like that, right? So it sort of sticks out in this weird way. It's a bit strange, but I kind of like it. Because what I can do is throw that bit on there, raise this bit up so you can't actually see that there's like, you know, weirdness going on there. I mean, this window is a bit strange, but that's kind of okay. I think that'll look interesting, though. So we have that on there. We could do another core piece if we really wanted to, which I kind of want to. I think it looks cool. We have the small treasury that can go on here as well, which means we'll be able to store more money, which, again, I don't know about you, but I like that idea for sure. Could actually throw it at the back there if we really wanted to. Don't think I'll bother with that. But I do think I'm going to try and get a couple of these treasuries on here, because I just feel like that could be a good idea. Yeah, it's going to have some weird stuff going on with the roof there, but I kind of feel like getting, maybe not the middle one. Yeah, I think that works better. I could even raise these up if I really wanted to, which I think I might do something like that. Maybe take that one out and do a small treasury there and raise it up. I think that's kind of interesting looking. It does make the keep a little bit, well, quite considerably asymmetrical. Maybe I'll not bother too much with that. Maybe the treasury can go on this end of the Lord's Manor section. I mean, I think that looks cool. We do, of course, have the tower itself. That is an option, which, I mean, that looks interesting. That's fair to say, I think. We could actually slap the tower there if we really wanted to, which actually, honestly, I kind of want to. I think that looks really good. That's kind of interesting. Now, the door for this could go right in the middle there. I could actually put it on the tower, although that does make it look a little bit more like a church, so maybe the door sort of goes here. Looks a little strange, but I think I'm going to do that. I mean, it's going to give us a good amount of splendor for labor. It takes a fair amount of resources, but we nearly have those resources. I think this looks kind of cool. And to be honest, I think I will probably throw another treasury there. And can I get another one on the front as well? I actually can. And I think that's kind of interesting looking too. What about on the side here? Because I just want to be able to, I want to make, maybe not the side ones. Maybe maybe just that one. No, I think we do need those other ones. Okay. I want to do this because I think being able to store a whole bunch of gold is going to be a pretty good thing. And actually doing that has given us something kind of interesting looking. Let's take that out, though, and just do what I was originally going to do, which was that right there. And then the same on this side as well. So that's going to give us a pretty good gold capacity, which I'm quite excited about. And I think it looks all right. I really do. I think the tower could be a little bit bigger. Maybe slightly smaller so those windows can see fine. I think this bit could just be slightly taller. There we go. I think that looks good. I actually really like that. So let's start construction. It's going to take a lot of resources to do it, but I think as Lord Manors go, I think that's pretty good looking. Then we can put some walls around it at some point. I'm excited. I'm actually quite excited about this. I think it's going to look fantastic. We do need to get rid of a lot of these trees, of course. That's kind of a thing, and we do need to get some residential zoning out here, which is kind of going to need to be a thing as well. In fact, in saying that, I think what I'm going to do is say residential the whole way across there as well. so that hopefully we can get some people living out there, and hopefully we can have them actually work in the keep as soldiers. That's kind of the goal here. We need those soldiers. So we'll see what happens, really. That's kind of where we're at. This should be relatively easy to build, though. I mean, by the looks of our stockpile, I think most of the resources, yeah. Most of the resources are very much already there, so I don't think this is going to be too much of a struggle. We have no one unemployed here. That's unfortunate. We really need more housing near the sawmill there. I'm wondering if I should just move the sawmill. I think we're gonna get rid of this sawmill. And I think I am gonna put one over here, because it is gonna be next to a lumber camp, so it is gonna be able to get access to lumber anyway, and I'm pretty sure there are people over here that are unemployed. So I'm thinking the sawmill is actually gonna go here. I know I was gonna put another gathering hut in there, but I think that fills up the space quite nicely, and I also want to prioritize that. And of course, we do have people in the warehouses that are assigned to transport, so, I mean, my idea, you might be wondering why I said so in a weird way there. I was propping myself up in my chair a little bit there, just to clarify. Just to clarify, all right? Because I know I said, you know, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. I can hear myself in my headphones, and it sounded like I went so in a weird way. Just letting you know. Yeah, so as long as the person that works at this sawmill lives nearby, production shouldn't be an issue. And then, of course, they'll just store the planks in the sawmill, and those will get moved over to the warehouses, you know, whenever that's a possibility. We do need someone. Oh, we do. Okay. No, this is actually good. We can get someone working there. And, do we have anyone unemployed can work here? We actually do. Okay. We could start getting soldiers, but I don't know how urgent that necessarily is. I'm really not sure on that front, but I guess we'll find out. How's this going? It's getting there. We got to get the stone done here, which, looking at this, is not going to be a problem. Stone really, I mean, stone is not an issue. Neither are logs, to be honest. Most of everything we have going on around here is going very well. I'm honestly so pleased with it all. And then we look at the stockpile. There's a whole bunch of cloth as well, which honestly we could get more of too. So let's go ahead and do that so that cloth can be stored in here, meaning that the weaver's hut can keep on working. Because it's not going to be working at the moment. It can store 100. The warehouse can store 200. So 300 in storage means it is full. Also, if this could hurry up, that'd be great, because I really want more planks. Planks are going to be the bottleneck for a little while, I think, until we get more going on around here. I think polished stone as well is probably going to be a bit of a bottleneck, but we actually do have people can work in this stonemason hut. And I mean, we have 600 polished stone right now, but if we remember, I mean, the monastery we tried to build in Season 1 was ridiculous. So, it's going to take a bit. Now, let's see. You want my soldiers? Unfortunately, that is not an option, so yeah, can't really do anything there. Sorry to let you down there, fella, but we don't have soldiers. We'll get them in time. It's going to be a little while. It is going to be a little while. 2 new villagers coming in. We're actually going to need to start looking at another church very soon, I think. I wonder if we should build it into the keep as well. Because that is an option. Like, we could build it into the grounds of the keep or something like that. Or, like, build it back here a little bit. Or on the island. On the island is an option if we get one of the tiles, but we'll see. There's no rush just yet. We have enough time to figure it out. Now, this is interesting. This is very interesting. We don't actually have the means to get carpenters here. I wonder. I'm gonna get rid of you two there. I'm gonna get rid of that whole thing, I think. So get rid of all of you, right? Then we should have you unemployed. We have Hans. And we should have Jean as well. So those 3 are not going to work in there. I know that we kind of needed that gathering hut. But my thinking is that people are moving into this area up here. So we should be able to fill this one. Yeah. We totally can. So this gathering hut's now up and working at, you know, its optimum amount, which is beautiful news. I am thinking we're going to need a market out here, though. So maybe just right here for another berry market. So let's go and say market, food stall. We'll sort of throw it there. I think that's a nice spot. We'll, of course, give it the red tent for berries. And then a bit of a fence, I think, right there. And I think next to it as well. We'll just make this kind of a nice little thing going on there. We could maybe put some barrels sort of in the corner. Put some barrels over here as well. And start construction. We didn't actually put any signs in that, I realized. I probably should have done that. But that way, we can at least sell the berries from the gathering huts just up there to the people living just here. Even though they have a market right there as well. Basically, we don't really need it, but I kind of want it. That's kind of where I'm at. Now, let me go ahead and prioritize construction on the Lord Manor, because it is taking its time. And I do want it done, that's for sure. We're actually looking very good on planks there, good lord. 123. That's a beautiful sight, is what that is. As for this, I think I'm going to prioritize that too. I want to prioritize the market and the Lord's Manor over the new houses that are coming together. I don't know how good of an idea that necessarily is, but that's what I want to do. I'm also thinking, and I don't know how good of an idea this might be, but I'm thinking that I might do some wheat farms, because so here's what we can do, right? I think if we're thinking about production and the usual micromanagement that we do, I think what we can do is we can get our wheat farm and we can either store the wheat in a warehouse that's next to a bunch of windmills, or we can put the windmills with the farms, have the wheat immediately turned into flour, and then store the flour at a warehouse that's relatively central to an area. And then hopefully we can have sort of bakeries kind of at reasonable distances away from that warehouse with markets next to them. Or we do a cluster of everything, do a warehouse with bread kind of in the middle, and then have markets sort of dotted around to deal with that. I'm trying to figure out, because bread is going to be the big thing here. It's going to be the deciding factor, I think. It's going to be the tricky thing. Because it does need such an area. I mean, the sheep, like, clothing is going to be relatively easy. It's the market. It's the spread of markets, really. Because if you think about it, what we've been doing is we're putting the berry market next to the gathering hut. You know what I mean? We're putting these markets, like, these are still relatively close to where the fish come from. And people are relatively happy. They're not thrilled, but they're not totally furious with me right now. So I think I think bread is gonna be something that we really need to figure out. I'm also gonna place another fishing hut right about there. So right there, and I think I can get, yeah, I can totally get another one. Unfortunately, they wouldn't be able to get into it because the entrance would be in the water. So I think that one will do. Just another little fishing hut there, because I think fish is okay. We have some in storage, but I'd like more. I would definitely like a bit more of that. Now let's see, how's this going? It's going, is what it's doing. Fair enough. Oh, the Lord Manor's about to be finished. Here we go. There it is. Okay, well, this is beautiful news. We can now hold up to 1,500 gold. We have room for quite a few soldiers. And I'm excited. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted there. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure everyone nearby is employed, but I mean, I think that looks awesome. I'm actually really pleased with that. I mean, we do kind of need to get some walls, so we'll grab those. And in here, I mean, still need to get that splendor up a little bit, which is going to need a church of some sort. But I think, oh, I might do it. I don't think I'm going to put a market inside of my keep, though, the way I had done in Season 1, because I'm pretty sure that just led to some issues. So I don't think we're going to do that. I think what I will do, though, is go into here, go to here, and what do I want? I want the... Oh, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for something very specific. The wooden gate, I think? Is that a thing? Is there not like a gate? That am I going crazy here? I could swear there was. I know there's like a wooden gate. There it is. A wooden gate used as entrance. Okay. So I want this because I do want to have like something that looks secure on my keep here. So I think it needs to go... I think we can do one there. And then maybe on the back of the keep as well. So maybe we have this sort of loop around a little bit so you can like get in the front there and then maybe go out the back as well. I don't want... This doesn't need to be like... This doesn't need to be huge, but it's kind of gonna be. Just because I can. Just because I can, really. So let's go from there. Or rather, from there. Nope. Let's get this right. Close enough. A little bit closer. That'll do. So from about there to there. Oh, I can't actually see it in the trees. That's going to be a pain. Okay, you know what? Maybe we're not going to do this. Because it's going to be too much of a pain. It's going to be way too much of a pain right now to do that, I think. Okay, we're going to have to clear out the trees and then come back to this idea. So, get rid of that. And get rid of that. And I guess we need a lumber camp in here. So, let's go for lumber camp. And we can just sort of throw it. I guess we can just sort of throw it right here. I mean, it's only going to be a temporary thing. It's not going to be staying there forever. But I do need to get rid of those trees. So we'll throw a lumber camp there. And honestly, I'm actually really pleased that this is done. I really am. I'm really happy to see that we've got this and it looks good. I'm a little wary of the fact that we do need another church. So we have residential zoning back there. Maybe we do just put another church back there. We could put it up by this way, up by the farms and all, which actually I think I'm gonna do up there instead. I was gonna do some fields up here, but we can kind of do, we can maybe do like the wheat stuff on this. I don't know. I'm gonna use the space that I have while I have it, I think, rather than planning miles ahead. So up here, we're gonna do a church because I think it's gonna look nice. So let's do, what did we do for that one? We did 2 core sections. Okay. So we could do the same thing. We could have this be quite a large church as well. So something like that. I do think I want it to be quite tall. So something like that. That's... Oh, that's going to be enormous back there. Because that's actually a little bit higher up in terms of land than the other one. So let's bring it down slightly. Let's do the tower at the back here, as we usually do. Which is... That's looking pretty good, actually. That's a pretty good height. Let's just shuffle this back slightly. We do actually have the stone grave. Has this always been here? And the wooden cross as well. Okay, so wooden cross can go on there. And on the tower as well. We have the door, which I think could be that one. Or maybe that's a tower. What about this one? Yeah, we'll go with that one. So that can go right in the front there. That looks all right. We do have stone extensions, though, which are enormous, basically. They are huge. This one might be a little bit better, size-wise, I think. So maybe this goes... Well, it could go on there, actually, but I'm not sure. What if we were to put that there and then try extension A like that? No, I think that's a little bit too much. I don't really know what to do with this extension then, because it is a little bit much. It does add more capacity than the wooden extensions, though, is my thinking. So maybe we do just throw a couple of them at the back there. So a couple of stone extensions like that, although they are different sizes, different heights. That's a bit better. Not ideal, not perfect, but definitely better. Can I do doors on those? Is that an option? It isn't. Okay. Could do some towers on them if we really want. That's actually not a bad idea. Do a couple of little towers on the extensions. That's kind of cool looking. Although they need to be raised up as well, so do like that and do... Yeah, they're not going to be the same height. Oh, that's annoying. I was really hoping they would be. But they are. I mean, that kind of works. Maybe the towers just need to be slightly taller. That looks... I think that's a little too much. I think we just want the one tower. I think we're going to go relatively simple. I mean, this is a capacity of 40, which will give us up to 150 people in the town. We could just use these extensions as we usually do to get us up to a bit higher than that. That's definitely an option. We could basically just duplicate what we've done before. So that's 50, which will be 160 total. And this will be 170 total. And then if we really want to, we can go to 175. I think 175. Yeah, that'll be 175. Which isn't terrible. But I don't know. I would really like to use these. I really would. They're kind of cool looking. Maybe at the back. Or maybe like that. No, definitely not like that. I think I might just try them at the back. Just something like that, maybe. What about putting this in? Oh, that actually kind of works. Okay, hold on a minute. So throw that extension there. And then throw this extension on that side. We're going to need to adjust the heights here, but we might be onto something. We might be onto something. So height-wise, this one needs to come up a little bit. Which is going to be tricky, because that does definitely position them at very different heights. Oh dear. Well, that makes things slightly more complicated. And those are actually different depths in there as well. Okay. I'm going to figure this out, and then we'll build it. We're just going to keep this as simple as we can, I think. Alrighty, the church is coming together. It has a capacity of, I believe, 60, which isn't quite as much as I was hoping to get out of it. It's also moved across a little bit, and I know you can't see what it looks like right now. But the reason I've changed it up a bit is because I figured it's a church out by some farms. It's probably going to be a little bit more rustic, and what I was building before I think was a little bit too big, too luxurious looking, too fancy for what it was. I'm also going to change our soldier into a woodcutter because I realize until we have houses out here, we're not going to have that many soldiers. So I don't think there's any rush there. I don't think we really need... I mean, we need soldiers. I'd like to be doing the missions to get free territories, but I'm not going to rush into it too much. I'm also not going to rush into getting bread anytime soon. I know if I get them clothes, they will start upgrading, and they will be very happy about that, but I'm also not sure if I want to rush into that yet. I know we're, what, 5 episodes in at this point, and we could be looking at clothes, and we could be looking at bread and all that stuff, but I mean, we've maxed out our money. We're doing very good in terms of resources. Happiness is fantastic. The population is growing steadily and staying happy in the process. I say that, it's not growing at the minute, but it's growing steadily and staying happy in the process. Like, everything's kind of working. So I'd like to keep it that way, honestly. I'm also thinking I will go to trade, and I will say let's buy up to let's say 50 tools there, just to make sure that this new church can get built relatively well. We can also go ahead and say, oh, there is no one unemployed that can work here. Interesting, interesting. We have a hold on, we have a transporter near here. Lillian, the transporter. I'm assuming you work here. No, you don't. Where do you work? You work there. Okay. You know what? I'm going to fire you from that job. And I'm going to say you can, in fact, work there. I want to see where you live. You were closer to the stonecutter, but that's probably okay. I think we can go in here and we can say, yeah, there's a few unemployed people nearby. So that'll work out. That should be fine. And that should get us a bit more fish, which we do have in storage, but I'd like to make sure we have, plenty. I'd like to make sure that everyone's getting the fish that they want, everyone's happy, all that good stuff. So hopefully that ends up being the case. Hopefully this one extra fishing hut here does some good for us. I'm also really hoping that this woodcutter does some good for us as well, because like I said, all these trees, they kind of all need to go. And then this side here as well. I mean, stone's not an issue. I think it's fair to say 126 stone get put in this thing in seconds. The wood's not going to be an issue. The only thing that's a slight issue is the tools. And I mean, as soon as a trader comes by, we are pretty much set for that. Although I'm slightly curious. I'm wondering, have we even had a trader come by recently? I don't remember the last time I saw one. And that does have me a little bit oh, no, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. There he is. All right. That should get us the tools that we need, which should put us in a nice spot to finish the rustic church here, which is lovely. We can get that done. We can do some good things. And I'm honestly thinking, I know I said I wasn't going to rush into bread, and I'm not going to rush into bread. I might at least do some farms out here, because I think farms out here around the church could look really nice. So let's just jump into it. Let's just do it. Let's just get some farms out here. Let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna just do this, and I will chop that away a little bit to make it neater, so that it's not sort of on the church there. So something like that gets chopped away, and then something. Let's bring this around. Actually, let's have it follow the path. So it's gonna come down. And it's going to go like that, right? So it's going to very, very nicely just curve around. Let's just fix that because it got a bit weird. There we go. So I think that'll be one field, right? Then over here, similar story. Just going to sort of follow the path a bit. And this will just be another one. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect. We can sort of go around that camp there. And then have it sort of edge along the residential zone. So that right there can be a second field. And I think having these a little bit smaller than I was doing them in Season 1 is probably going to be a good idea. So something like that. And then I can maybe just actually do this to neaten up that little bit. So that's a second field. We could do another small one in there. I don't think I will, but we certainly could. I think that works. I think 2 little fields there will look really good around the church and around this area. And I'm actually thinking we could get another one in here if I was to move the sheep farm, which I might do. I might actually move it, but we'll do the 2 for the time being. We'll get the buildings in, because the buildings are actually going to take up a fair bit of space on their own. So let's go. Let's do this for 1. And then let's do this we'll do the other one like this. Although that's slightly blocking that building. So let's do it down here instead. So right about there should be good. So we'll get those built. We'll start getting some wheat. We'll start turning that into flour. We don't have to turn it into bread. We don't have to do that at all. But we can at least start getting to a point where we could start doing that. Maybe in a couple of episodes' time. Because, as I've said many a time, I am in no rush to do anything here. I want this place to be sustainable at every moment. I want everyone to be happy at every second. I don't want anyone to be hungry. I don't want anyone to be miserable. I mean, we have a fair bit. I'm pretty sure we have a fair bit of unemployment, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we do. We have a lot of unemployment. Let's get a couple more builders just to help with that a little bit. And, I'm actually thinking a lot of those people could be soldiers, because I realize getting soldiers that live nearby, we don't need our soldiers to live nearby. They don't actually, so soldiers can work anywhere. We're gonna go all in. We're gonna get our 10 soldiers right away. So we're gonna do that immediately. And I know that that's gonna take people away from some other jobs, but I realize we can get our 10 soldiers and not have to worry about it. And that also means that if an envoy comes in, which I hoped it was. There it isn't. If an envoy comes in, we can immediately deal with it. We can immediately send soldiers off to fight. So that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. Anyway, ladies and gents, I think that's going to do us for today. This church will be done in no time at all, but we did get our keep. We did get our Lord's Manor. We have a little bit more fishing going on, and we've developed things just a little bit. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where we go in the next couple of episodes' time, because as slow as we're taking things, I think we're getting very close to the point that we were at in season 1 when things started to go wrong quite majorly. So hopefully I've done it right this time. Hopefully it's sustainable. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. But with that in mind, thank you very much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.